When Papa has been prompting us now for the past 2-3 months to concentrate upon an in-depth study of Bhagavad Gita with a view to convert our mind into a refinery so that all our thoughts, all our words, all our deeds lead us to Him. Lead us to Him and Him only. So He made us to go through so many shlokas, and this particular shloka also we have dealt with. But again, the sloka number 7 or chapter number 8. Sloka number 7, chapter number 8. It says, Tasmat sarveshu kareshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Tasmat sarveshu kareshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. Mayarpida mano buddhihir mamai veshya samshaya. There is no doubt about it that you will join me. Therefore, at all times, constantly remember me and fight. With your mind and intellect absorbed in me, Mayarpida mano buddhihi mamai veshyasya samshaya. You will certainly, surely come to me. This particular sloka, when we are trying, Papa has been asking us, Mataji has been asking us, Swamiji has been asking us to chant, to chant, to chant, to chant. Because chanting is the mainstay of our Anandashram. But through this chansa, the Lord is telling, you are chanting not for the sake of chanting. Anusmara, constant remembrance. We are also chanting, but do we remember Him? That is the question. So as spiritual children of Papa, this stanza has got a special significance. It's a reminder, it's a reminder, it's a reminder. Because at all times and in all places, He is with me, He has been with me. I am not aware of it. I have been thinking of everything except Him. While He is with me, He has been with me, making me to think, making me to function as an individual, making me to function through my five organs of perception and action. He is making me to exist through the five vital layers. He is helping me to express through mind and intellect. So if He is with us now and here, but we are not aware. Kindly think of these lines. Tasma sarveshu karyeshu. Actually, this is the seventh sloka. In the sixth sloka, he says, Yam yam yapi smaran bhavam yajyante kalevaram tam tamaivaiti kauteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whosoever at the end leaves the body thinking upon my being, to that being only he goes, O son of Kunti, because of his constant thought of that being. That is how this constancy comes. So when at the time of leaving, if I am constantly remembering him, I am assured by the Lord that I will become one with Him. Now He is with me, I am not aware. But when I want to become one with Him, there is no question of remembering. We will go through some of the thoughts. A truly educated man never forgets his education. It becomes part and parcel of his very nature, and in every thought, word or action of his, he brings out the fragrance of his education. So too a man of constant awareness of his divine self will be acting in the world as a mastermind. That all his actions so with selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, and all his feeling matured in kindness. So now every one of us has to work out how shall we maintain that remembrance. First of all, we are chanting the name to remember him. And if we keep on reminding that I am chanting only to remember him, remember of whom? Remembering him who is within me, who is with me, who has been with me, who has been supporting this or making this sense of individuality alive, who is behind all my sense organ, Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Panchapranas, mind, buddhi. You remember in the introduction, a mention was made about 18 slokas, numbering 18 of our Bhagavad Gita. What could have been the reason to fix it at 18? then we remember that it could be, we don't know, because we have not learned any Vedic Adhyayana. Only through whatever Papa has made us aware of, that only we know. But he makes us to infer it like this, that we have 5 organs of perception through which we contact the world outside our sense organs. We have 5 organs of action through which we react, we respond. We have 5 vital layers. That is the one which makes this body acting, and a mind and intellect, and then finally the sense of individuality. So 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 vital layers. So 3 into 5, 15, mind and intellect. 17, sense of individuality. 18. But at the moment, I am not aware of the power behind this. And then, because I am not aware of the power behind this, I keep on reacting with the rest of the creation like they are independent of me, independent of everything. I see everybody as a person. I see every object as an object. I see every situation as a situation, disconnected or unconnected with the law. But in truth, he is behind, he is behind, he is behind. So Papa tells us that you should constantly remember. How it should come? A truly educated man never gets his education, never forgets his education. It becomes part and parcel of his very nature. And in every thought, word or action of his, he brings out the fragrance of his education. Even unknowingly, when it has become part and parcel of it, he does not know that. It has percolated into his thinking system, so that it is soaked in that he is not even aware that previously he was not aware, now he is aware. No, it's not like that. It has become one with him. So too a man of constant awareness of the divine self will be acting in the world as a mastermind, as his actions soaked in, all his actions soaked in selflessness. All his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. This is the lakshana. This is the lakshana of a person who is having constant remembrance. All actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. An actor playing the part of a king in a drama can never completely forget that he has a wife and child in his own house in the outskirts of the city. He is always aware that he has taken up this role as his efforts to eke out a living to maintain them. That means he does not forget his real nature even while he acts as a king in the drama. So Krishna is directing our attention that we are basically, intrinsically, essentially he and he only, and that he has taken, and that we have taken the role of an individual to work out our karma to finally go back to our real home. Sri Krishna is directing our attention that we are basically, intrinsically, essentially he and he only, and that we have taken this role of as an individual, to work out our karma. Our karma to finally go back to our real home. Think about this, very important. An actor playing the part of a king in a drama can never completely forget that he has a wife and a child in his own house in the outskirts of the city. He is always aware that he has taken up this role as his efforts to eke out a living to maintain them. That means he does not forget that his real nature. He does not forget his real nature even while he acts as a king in the drama. Sri Krishna is directing our attention that we are basically, intrinsically, essentially he and he only, and that we have taken the role of an individual to work out our karma to finally go back to our real home. Of all the methods to remember this truth is to chant the name of his original nature, even while involved in multivarious activities. Here beloved Papa says the importance of constancy. Repetition of Ram Nam simultaneously with meditation on the great ideal is perfectly right, but the remembrance must flow in the mind without a break, like the stream of oil poured from one vessel into another. While we travel, we would have seen while the tarring is taking place, the road, Nowadays we don't know. Previously, with a heated barrel that will be placed to another barrel, empty barrel. And through that hole, it keeps on flowing to the empty barrel. And when that barrel is full, they will slowly remove and fix another barrel. But even then, the flow will not be broken. Tailadhara. Because the viscosity or whatever you call it, the nature of the oil is such that it will not, unless it is finally totally getting exhausted from the original barrel. Any oil, Tailadhara. Papaya is drawing our attention to something which we are really seeing, what is constancy. So repetition of Ram Nam simultaneously with meditation on the great ideal is perfectly right, but the remembrance must flow in the mind without break, like a stream of oil poured from one vessel into the another. This must continue until you lose yourself entirely in the infinite reality, and rising above the body consciousness, feel one with all lives and existence. The feeling with all lives and existence has been brought out as all his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. That is feeling one with all lives and existence. So I must constantly watch myself. Whether through the Ram Nam I am remembering him, which is expressing in the form of these three. This is one way to check myself whether I am remembering him. That means, like first he said, a truly educated man never forgets his education. So Similarly, when we keep on chanting and practicing it in such a way that even while the chanting is not there, remembrance continues. Even while after the education, the process of education is not there, but the essence of education stays with us and expresses itself in the form of thoughts, words, and deeds. Similarly, when we constantly chant with the feeling that He is with us, He has been with us, He is with us, He has been with us, He is with us, He has been with us, and I am chanting the name only to remember Him, even when the chanting stops, the remembrance exists in the form of action soaked in selflessness, thoughts flavored with love, feeling matured in kindness. And for reference, we can look at the Mahatma's life. These three are very, very striking. Very striking. Actions soaked in selflessness, thoughts flavored with love, feelings matured in kindness. To some extent, we can say this is the lakshana, the expressed form of a man who is having constant remembrance. And now we could add, in the slogan he says, if you do that, with your mind and intellect absorbed in me, you will surely come to me. Again come back. So take the name, Papa again adds, take the name with all faith you are capable of, repeat it without a moment's break, whether you are in the kitchen or engaged in fetching water, taking bath, walking in the street, doing any physical work. It is like a hen sitting on her eggs while constantly remembering them. This aligns beautifully with spiritual practice. Just as a hen never forgets her eggs while incubating them, a seeker should remain constantly aware of the divine while refining their thoughts, words, and deeds. If our mind constantly dwells on God, like the hen on our egg, transformation naturally takes place and we awaken to His presence within. So, please make a note. Chapter number 8, slogan number 7. As devotees of beloved Papa, who are all votaries of Ram now, we must have been doing it for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. But this crucial part, we will be giving the count also. But these three essentials, is it slowly flowering? Actions soaked in selflessness, thoughts flavored with love, feelings matured in kindness. All these three will become explicit only if the me and mine reduces itself to a lowest level. We can't say it will completely go, excepting for the bare existence, the me and mine will not be there. Again, we try to understand, how do we know that? This action soaked in selflessness. When we give something to somebody, whether it is with condition. You give your room or your key or your what you call any possession for somebody to whom you love. You will not have grumblings or complaints. Think about it. share something what you have with others? Will you calculate first for yourself and then give, or whatever that strikes you, you give immediately? These are some of the tests we can do ourselves. We may not have reached that stage, but we can try to reach, as soon as we know where we are. And thoughts flavored with love. Love means absence of otherness. And feelings matured in kindness. So thoughts, feelings and actions, all these three are covered here. Thoughts, feelings and actions. These are the three that comes through body, mind, intellect. Through body actions, through mind feelings, through intellect thoughts. So when this has become the reality, that this is the expressed form of an individual. When all these three are having these attributes, actions soaked in selflessness, thoughts favored with love, feelings matured in kindness. That means we are remembering him. Just like when you sit on the driver's seat. Not that you will go back to the driving period, training period, when you are identifying each and every part and its role, the gear, the steering wheel, the clutch, the brake, the key. So many things are there. The brake, the accelerator. But now nothing is needed because it has become a part of your being. You need not be even consciously aware of its presence because it has become part of your being. Papa is bringing us, practical. So what is this constant remembrance? You would have learned a driving, say 50 years back, 15 years back, or 20 years back, or 25 years back. But the remembrance is there. At that time you underwent some tapasyas. Daily going to the driving class, failing after a certain time. You are taken to task by your trainer. Finally he decides to abandon you, but you still keep on telling, I will be careful, I think somehow you master it. And then finally you go to the RTO for license. He puts you on test. And then finally you get the driving license. And then initially you will be careful. Later on you will not be that careful in the sense, it has become part of you. You are not even conscious. When there is an upward incline, automatically the gear, you change it. When it is slightly level or down, again you change it. All these things, you may be even talking, but automatically it goes on. You are thinking, you are thinking on the road, suddenly you see the rear mirror. Please think about it. While cooking also, when you have initially, when you come in blunders while cooking, the proportion of the spices we add, we have no idea. If some elders are there, they may give us some idea. If you are doing it by yourself, you have to learn it only through trial and experience. And the stage comes when you don't have to even measure anything. You may be talking, you may do it, but the undercurrent will be there. That will tell you how much you put at what time. That is why the first one, that a truly educated man never forgets his education. It becomes part and parcel of his very nature, and in every thought and word of his, he brings out the fragrance of his education. So too, a man of constant awareness of his divine self will be acting in the world as a mastermind. All his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. An actor playing the part of a king in a drama can never completely forget that he has a wife and children in his house in the outskirts of the city. He is always aware that he has taken up this role as his efforts to eke out a living to maintain them. That means he does not forget his real nature even while he acts as a king in the drama. Sri Krishna is directing our attention that we are basically, intrinsically, essentially he and he only, and that we have taken this role of an individual to work out our karma, to finally go back to our real goal. Of all the methods to remember this truth is to chant the name of his original nature, even while involved in multivarious activities. Here, beloved Papa says the importance of constancy. Repetition of Ram Nam simultaneously with meditation on the great ideal is perfectly right, but the remembrance must flow in the mind without break. This is very important. The remembrance must flow in the mind without break. Today, Papa is really making us probably to understand that chanting of the name is to remember, to remember, to remember. And finally, when the remembrance gets stabilized, even the chanting is not there. It has done its purpose. Just like we saw in the driving or cooking, But until that time, the chanting helps us. So not that we should stop chanting. We should know the purpose of the chanting and we should constantly hold on to the chanting until we get the balance. So repetition of Ram Nam simultaneously with meditation on the great ideal is perfectly right. But the remembrance must flow in the mind without break, like the stream of oil poured from one vessel into another. This must continue until you lose yourself entirely in the infinite reality and rising above the body consciousness, feel one with all lives and existence. This is the benchmark of remembrance, Baba. At the moment, difficult for all of us. Because our sense of individuality is so strong. So while reading, Papa is not facilitating to dwell on these thoughts. Even if it is a snail's speed, we should try, Holding on to our possessions, our power, status, our wealth. We are trying to understand philosophy. That is the biggest problem of our salvation. Whether whether we are loosening the hold, what do you call that? Hold. At least for some time I have been doing it. Practically here. This is the refinement. Holding on to everything and reading, hearing lectures is going on in us. That we are very clear about. But now we are trying to find out whether there is an effort on our part to come out of it. The me and mine. Take the name with all faith you are capable of. Repeat it without a moment's break, whether you are in the kitchen or engaged in fetching water, taking bath, walking in the streets, doing any physical work. These are the words of Papa. It is like a hen sitting on her eggs while constantly remembering them. This aligns beautifully with the spiritual practice. Just as a hen never forgets her eggs while incubating them, a seeker should remain constantly aware of the divine while refining their thoughts, words and deeds. If our mind constantly dwells on God like the hen on our eggs, transformation naturally takes place and we awaken to His presence within. Yesterday we were sharing that we had completed about the first set of 18 slokas. We did not know how far it has come out well. At least the first cut, rough cut has come. And to make it more and more effective, we took up the second batch. And the second batch of 18, this particular sloka comes. And when we went through it today again, suddenly the revelation comes. This is the mainstay of Ananda Ashram. So Gita study is not disconnected with our mainstay. Even if we forget all these 699 slokas, if we remember this particular sloka, it aligns with our practice, it aligns with our ideal to be scale. Tasmat sarveshu karyeshu ma anusmara yudhyacha mayarpida manobuddhi ma eveshya ashasya samshayam. Tasmat sarveshu karyeshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayarpida manobuddhi. With mind and intellect fixed in me, ma eva aishyasi asamshayam. You shall doubtless come to me alone. Absorb in me that word. That is why everything, we learn, we do some practice, and then it becomes a part of it, and then we are not even aware of it. We are not even aware of the practice, because the essence has gone and taken its position in our mind. But for that practice is necessary, to understand the language, to pass every class, to get into a professional field, to master it. First we have the knowledge, then we have the applied knowledge. So we can put it as Nama is knowledge and an applied knowledge. Remembrance is the applied knowledge. Nama is the knowledge. We have been initiated, we take initiation from a guru. And he says this Nama stands for God, Nama is the link between you and him. And with that faith, when we keep on chanting, we have been assured that it sings, gets absorbed in us, that we even forget about the chanting, but then the remembrance stays. Gita as a practical textbook exhaustively chalks out how Vedanta can be faithfully lived in life. Not only that we must try to live with constant awareness of the diviner possibilities in us and the ultimate reality behind the world and its happenings around us, but each student of Vedanta must diligently and efficiently fight on his battle of life. Every scripture is a mirror that reflects faithfully the student's own mind and intellect. Many are the unprepared ones who had come to read the Gita and even write commentaries upon it. Krishna is here very expressively clear when he says that an individual who lives a life of battle to win righteous profits, he is this constant remembrance of the Lord. His mind and intellect get absorbed in me. Following the above mentioned theory, as you think, so you become. You shall come to me. There is also another usage we are normally hear, as you think, so you become. It's a theory which is obvious to every intelligent man, even without the intervention of the explanation from any wise-looking philosopher. Thoughts guide all actions, and at any given moment, the run of thoughts in an individual is governed and ordered by the channel of thinking, which he himself had plowed in his bosom with his conscious and willful thoughts and actions in the past. Naturally, therefore, a mental equipment that had been struggling during its existence in an embodiment to detach from all its identification with that embodiment and to fix itself in the contemplation of the real and eternal would be creating new channels of divine aspirations. The time of death, when the occupant of the body has packed himself to quit, is not the moment to decide or to plan his travel. At such a moment, instinctively, his thoughts shall run through its habitual channels, and the flight of thoughts at that moment determines the direction of the ego's pilgrimage. So the 6 and 7 both are worth reading often, and then sit, leave everything, start contemplating about the various aspects. Cycling, swimming, driving, learning, becoming an expert in anything, all have come because of sufficiently thinking about it. And the stage comes when the thought out one becomes a part of our being. Similarly, Nama chanting should take place to remember him, to remember him, to remember him. Who is with us, who has been with us, who is the eternal seed. The 7th chapter we found, Vijamam Sarva Bhutana. So I am the eternal seed. So he is with us. We have come from him, so he is with us. He is providing everything through Mother Nature. At this moment, the air is given to me by him. Water is given to me by him. The earth is providing because of him. Space, he has provided. Sun, he has provided. And all these creature comforts like the Wi-Fi or the chair, anything that is other than me, that has also been helping me to exist, which is also his gifts through his creation. So he is with me, he has been with me. He is with me in the form of life force, he is with me in the form of consciousness, he is with me in the form of intelligence. He is with me in the form of Mother Nature, he is with me in the form of creature comforts. So he is with me, he has been with me. It is to know this I have been chanting Ram. If this keeps on coming back to me again and again and again and again and again, Lord Krishna says it will become part of you, and then you don't have to feel that you are remembered. But it comes out in the form of 3 dimensions. What are the 3 dimensions? Anybody remembers?
Swamiji,
thinking, feeling and action.
thoughts, feelings and action.
All his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness.
BMI.
BMI. Not very real BMI. BMI is body mind intellect.
Body mind intellect.
But this is important. I will highlight this. You are seeing this?
Yes, Swamiji.
You are seeing this?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes.
So my remembering him should. How do I know that I remember him? This is the benchmark. All his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. That means the me and mine is not there at all. Absence of awareness. Without any banner, without any tom-tomming, because it has become a part of me. Just like I now look back, whether swimming or cycling, or cooking, or driving, or anything that I am doing. It has come because of a regular practice, and after that the practice has stopped. What is the important thing that has become absorbed in my system? It has become a part of me. So this is what Nama chanting, we now understand why Papa is now asking us to go through this. So that during this, so many ideas you will get. But in order that you are constantly hammered this, please go to chapter number 8, sloka number 7. Tasma sarveshu kareshu ma anusmara idyacha. That anusmara is constant in you. Mayarpita manobuddhi ma eveshasya asamshaya. Doubtless, don't have any doubt, you will come to me. Maam eva, you will come to me alone. Maam eva aishyasi asamshaya. So that's what he said, Papa said, when you become one with him. And you function as a nimitta, as a tool. Not that the sense of individuality gets shuffled off. As long as he has decided, it will continue to function. Anybody would like to say anything? Chapter 7th sloka. Tasmat sarveshu kareshu maam anusmaretyacha mayarpita manobuddhihi maam eva aishyasi asamshaya.
So, Swamiji, she wants us to, in Bhagavad Gita, I read in chapter 10, chapter 10 in Bhagavad Gita. Yes.
What about this?
It's the same theme. Same theme is explained, she says.
Same feeling is explained in?
Same theme is explained in chapter 10 and 11 also.
Which sloka?
Sloka 10, not chapter, sloka 10 and 11. Okay.
10 and 11 of?
Chapter 10.
10 and 11 of?
10 and 11 sloka? Yeah. Chapter 10. Yeah. And sloka 10 and 11. Yeah. Chapter 10, sloka 10 and 11.
1 minute. Very good. Tesham satata yukdanam bhajatam, beautiful, Preeti Purvakam, okay. Dadami buddhi yogam tam, yena mam upayantite. To them, ever steadfast, submit to me with love, I give you the yoga of buddhi by which they come to me. Desham satata yuga. Satata means always, steadfast. Those who have thus become steadfast in their contemplation of the self, at all the levels of their personality, to them will be added on the necessary strength and capabilities to hold over the last ranges of their ignorance, so and so. Okay, we will.
She would like you to explain to her about Buddhi Yoga, it seems. Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga, yeah. She would like to know from you.
Desham eva anugambartam aham ajnanajam tamah nashyaya atmabhavastu jnanadipena Bhashwata. Acha. Out of mere compassion for them, I, dwelling within their heart, destroy the darkness born of ignorance by the luminous lamp of knowledge. That is about Buddhi Yoga. We were talking about, let us try, this is the problem with our academic knowledge. We are trying to get ourselves established in knowing what is constant remembrance. It might help tomorrow. It might help. But here it is very, very clear. It goes along with what we are doing in Ananda Ashram or at home as a spiritual child of Beloved Baba. Because this is not disconnected. Gita study is not disconnected with Ramnam chanting. Ramnam chanting, to help our Ramnam chanting more and more effective, Papa chose to direct our attention to Bhagavad Gita, and finally he makes us to land at sloka number 7 of 8, where he elaborately discusses about constant remembrance. Anusmaran. It is really a thrilling experience for us. How he is directing us to do that. And through various knowable examples, relatable examples, we try to we understand now the purpose of our chanting. When we react from the platform of me and mine, we should know the Nama has not done its work. So we have to improve the quality of chanting. Whenever the me and mine comes, stealthily or knowingly, then we should know that Nama chanting has not done for God. Nama chanting is for remembering Him. Remembering Him means, now all of us have to put this writing keep it in our purse. Action soaked in selflessness, thoughts flavored with love, feelings matured in kindness. These are the expressive forms of
Swamiji, can you repeat it? Swamiji, please repeat it.
All his actions.
It is here.
I'll read this, So too a man of constant awareness of his divine self will be acting in the world as a mastermind. What is the mastermind? All his actions soaked in selflessness. All his thoughts flavored with love. All his feelings matured in kindness. Super. person up to this, agreed. But let us be clear about Nama chanting should enable me to remember him who is with me, who has been with me, who is my bijam, my starting point, who has provided everything through his mother nature, which is also he, through creature comfort, which is also he. So when I handle everything, naturally it has to be with Vishnu. The me and mind should not be there. So great selflessness, everything I handle with a touch of love, flavored with love, and then efficiency, and as well as dedication, mature in kindness. Kindly sit and write and think about these aspects. Chanting, Papa has initiated with chanting. To some extent, we have all practiced it. But this remembrance, that part, have we given much importance or not, that we have to now ask ourselves. And it is a dry, it's an abstract word. That is why these thoughts are given. When we keep on remembering him, what comes out of will be, our actions will be soaked in selflessness, our thoughts will be flavored with love, our feelings matured in kindness.
Swamiji,
Swamiji, this.
What is this real home in capital letters? Real home in capital letters.
Real home. You remember Puja Swamiji said, our real home is God, from him we have started.
Is it moksha? Is it moksha?
Whatever name we give, it's out there. See, we get stuck with the words.
Yes.
Real home means the word from which started. What is the difference between a house and a home? Homely means,
Yes.
both are the areas of our shelter, but there is a difference. Homely, home, my home. That means that we cannot explain beyond that. So my real home is he.
Right, thank you. Thank you, Mario.
Vidisvarta, Prabhu Sakshi, Nivasa, Sharanam, Sur. Nivasa means my home. Shanti Nivas, Nivas, Ram Nivas. Nivas is the place where we stay. So my real home is he. We have started, we have forgotten. So we are trying to go back to our real home. That can be possible only when we remember him. The moment we remember him, we are at his home. The moment we forget, we are away from him. So remembrance is the cardinal virtue. So today's reading is on that. I think every day we should read for some time this particular slogan, so that the real purpose of our chanting gets more and more strengthened in our mind, rather than an active session. It is an effort to remember him, which expresses in the form of selflessness, a touch of love, and a matured kindness. Matured in kindness. Please think over it, more about it tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram.